So today seems like it's going to be a pretty big and busy day. It is noon right now. That has just built off of Shasta. I knew something was building earlier, but I just popped outside for a little bit and I noticed it was a little dark over there. And I came out and looked at that. I was like, oh, all right, well, the first of many, I'm sure. I can't see any others built up right now, I don't think. Yeah, that's the only one. These wispy clouds were all that was going on for a long time, but yeah, that's finally set up camp. I mean, pretty much onward from noon, we'll be expecting some lightning. It's gonna be a long day with a lot of lightning, so hopefully I'll be able to get some good videos of it and it won't be too ridiculous directly over top of me. Well, a few more cells developed since that first one established over there. It's still hanging around, just kind of building off of Shasta continuously. It's gotten pretty wide. There's one that is past Cedar Mountain. I think it's dropped basically all of its rain. I don't even know if it's dropping any more lightning right now. There's another one that started at the bottom of the Antelope Valley and is unfortunately tracking basically right over me. I haven't seen any downstrikes from it yet, but it's definitely been making noise. Thankfully, it seems to be putting a lot of effort into dropping rain, but we'll see how bad it gets as it moseys on over me. Getting close to quitting time now. We were on, they said until 2030, so I've only got a half hour left technically on shift unless anything happens, but that cell is sitting over Medicine Mountain right now. It doesn't look like it's doing too much. I can't hear as well because of the wind that's coming from the west, due west now. But yeah, I guess there's another one up there. I don't know what it's gonna be like over here tonight. It seems to be pretty clear coming off of Shasta. I don't think there's anything that's really building. But way over to the west, the other districts have been calling in a lot of fires. Buckhorn has probably called in 3 or 4 by now. Lake Mountain, probably 5. Yeah, they've been getting busy over there. I don't know if it's all from today or if it's from the past few days, but they've been putting in a lot of calls to Forest Dispatch. Nothing over here though, nothing that I've seen, which I guess is good, but we'll see how the rest of the night goes. I just got called to check if I was going out of service and confirmed that both us lookouts, me and Herd Peak, are out of service for the evening. This cell has gone quite active. Thankfully, it's got a good distance between me. I might catch that little edge if it really tracks hard northwest, but this section has been going off. It's a little bit calmer now, but it was lighting up when I was talking to the patrol. See, that was a little bit now. But yeah, there's some sections between Cedar Mountain and Mount Dome, which I can barely see, that got pelted pretty hard with lightning. So yeah, that. Okay, glad I recorded that. Oh man. So I'll be keeping an eye over there. I mean, tonight and tomorrow. That whole spot is just probably like the 3rd day in a row that it's getting hammered. So I'm gonna be shocked if nothing comes out of it. The storm settled down pretty quickly last night. They didn't wake me up at all. I got up I think I only got up once actually, but I did try and look around to see if anything had taken over in the Mount Dome area. I couldn't see anything. Still haven't seen anything. It's like almost 11:30 now. But we did just get a fire dispatch for around Surprise Lake, which is up on Ash Creek Butte behind that ridgeline there. I can't see any part of that. So I just let dispatch know I couldn't see that. But I also wanted to let them know of that cell building off the east side of Shasta. That could very easily impact their fire efforts once they get over there, because it's going to be a long drive out there, and the way that thing is sitting on the mountain, I wouldn't be surprised if it widens out and probably starts throwing down strikes. So hopefully they won't have any real bad issues with that. I'm pretty sure I just heard it rumbling. And then over here, on top of Goose Nest, this guy is building. So I'll have to keep an eye on that too. That one's shooting up real fast. It's not leaning too much either, which makes me think that it's gonna stay pretty well established. Today might end up like yesterday and just start early with storms and keep rolling for the rest of the day. Crews are still heading into that first fire over by Ash Creek Butte, but yeah, I'm getting pretty boxed in here with cells. That one's, it's still pretty small for now, but it might build into something. But yeah, that over there is well built up. That's basically my entire west to southeast side covered. That'll fill in the gap there. It looks like it's a north wind, so it should be pushing it away from me, but that also might be the direction that it's getting drawn in towards these clouds. I don't know. We'll see how things go, but it's gonna be interesting. 377, engine 377 got up to that fire on Surprise Lake, and they're taking care of it now. They've got that under control, but all the resources aside from them have been released, and now they're getting ready to deal with whatever pops up next. I've already seen a couple down strikes. Out here it looked like one was down by Dry Lake and one was out in the burn scar, so I don't think we've got too much to worry about. The problem is now the rain's coming down and it's going to make a whole bunch of water dogs, and it's going to be a little bit more challenging to pinpoint stuff, for me at least. But yeah, I'm standing on my stool if you couldn't already tell. There haven't been any close down strikes yet, but knock on wood, that's not connected to any metal. But yeah, it'll be a nice ride today. So we're sending out a dispatch right now. I just called in this. Oh, come on. Yeah, it looks like a little blue smoke out there. There's not a lot of water dogs out in that area. There are a few up on Stevens Butte, or Stevens Pass, but that is a much darker color, and I don't know, it just looks a lot more like smoke to me. So I called that in. It looks like they're gonna have a few people head out there. The more it goes, the more it looks like smoke. It looks like it's trying to push up a column. So they'll get people out there soon. So they're still working on that fire over there, the Baird incident, as it's now being called. They showed up. Oh man, I wish I would have caught that. This cell, hopefully you can hear me over the radio, but that cell over there is very active right now. It is dropping a ridiculous amount of rain. It's already done a couple down strikes. I'm gonna have to let the incident command over on that fire know when this really starts pushing in towards them. Hopefully it'll be burning up a lot of energy, but yeah, have to see how it goes. Yeah, this thing has still been kicking out lightning strikes. I've been trying to keep an eye on the crew over at the fire because that cell did end up pushing towards them. They just had a strike probably, I don't even know, maybe within a mile of where they're at. I immediately called them on the radio and they were like, yup, we are already heading to the trucks. So they had already gotten a good handle on it. It sounded like they had hose line around, and they had the dozer move a lot of stuff around for them. So I think that thing is going to be pretty under control. It was low potential anyway. It was already in a burned area. But yeah, not worth fighting through all this heavy rain, which is probably going to put it out anyway, and risking life and limb outside in a forest in a thunderstorm. So I think they got the message with that one. Hopefully I won't have to worry about a strike getting as close as that one was to them. Day's almost over. I've got a little over a half hour left in my shift. I think things are pretty toned down now. There's this cell to the south of me that's just tracking due east, and I've seen it do a little bit of lightning here and there, but hasn't done anything that I've noticed for a little while, and I think it's pretty spent. There's not a lot of thermal lift now that the sun is pretty much set. There's another one over here to the northwest, and I think that is going to keep tracking northeast. Shouldn't bother me too much. And same thing as the other one, it's pretty well spent. After that, it looks nice and clear. I wish the camera wasn't so incredibly blown out. Maybe if I... There we go, that's better. Kind of. But anyway, yeah. Another busy day, but I'll be up here for the night, trying to see if anything takes over. Well, I hope that time lapse that I took last night turned out all right. It looked good from what I could see this morning, but yeah, last night the Milky Way was really bright, and so I figured I might as well set up my phone for a little bit. This cell is trying to build on top of Deer Mountain. I just called it in and let everyone on the district know that it was starting to build. It kind of looks like it's falling apart now, and maybe it will, but I don't know. Bottom's pretty dark, and I think it'll be trying again if that top portion fails. But other than that, not a whole lot of lift on these other clouds. There's another one on top of Willow Creek that looks like it's trying to do something. Over on the west side, there's some bigger ones, but those won't bother us. The ones up in Oregon, those aren't going to touch us. There's a lot going on up there, and I'm glad that we won't have to deal with that, at least yet. Plan for today is I'll be on until we decide to finish our extensions. I'm sure we'll go till at least 2000 today, but I have to head down. I need to get more food and stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping today's not going to be quite as intense as the past few days. I'll call in a fire or two if I have to, obviously. So I'm gonna have to keep a close ear on the radio, but there's a patrol who's up at Herd Peak right now, kind of filling in. There's kind of a darkish patch over past Cedar Mountain there. It's not as prevalent as it was. He called that, it looked like it was on the backside of Sheep Mountain to him. It looks like it's on the backside of Cedar Mountain to me. And we're getting notice that it might just be an ag burn way out in Tule Lake, which makes more sense why it would be so different for us and why I wouldn't be able to see anything where he's looking. But anyway, hopefully they can get some people out there and determine that it is just an ag burn. I hate when they don't tell us about this stuff. I think we definitively decided that that was the ag burn over there. So crews have started coming back, and they're probably pretty close to being back on district now. There's some red-tailed hawks that are likely doing a mating dance out there. This cell that's over Goose Nest, Ball Mountain area, tracking to the northeast. I should get like the bottom edge of it. I think it's gonna keep heading across the valley. Shouldn't bother me too much. There's another one that might work its way towards me. We're already in 24-hour staffing. I'm currently debating whether or not I actually want to stay the night up here. I probably could, and I probably should, but I don't know. We'll see how things get as the time rolls around for me to have to get out of here. Morning again. Wasn't quite as clear last night, so I didn't bother doing another time lapse. There were a couple other fires that I saw, that I didn't see, but I saw popped up on Watch Duty, the app I use. So there's apparently one that's going on over the Modoc somewhere over there, but it's way too bright for me to see anything. And there's a couple out in the Shasta Valley, but nothing by me, nothing I had to call in or worry about. The deer are back. They must be hanging out up here pretty consistently. I think I'm going to get them a salt lick once I head into town. I wish I could identify them well enough to give them names, but the two doe seem to be pretty similar, so I'll just I'll know it's them because they're always in a group. Well, I can't remember if I recorded anything else today, but it's Saturday the 2nd, and today looks to be a pretty good day. I don't think we're gonna get really big storms. There might be a couple here and there. There's a couple clouds that are building. I just spent the last 20 minutes getting my pickup truck jumped because the stupid thing died at some point last night, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't jump with either of the cables that we were using. So eventually I fiddled with it, and somehow everything lined up for it to actually start. So that'll be running for the next 20 minutes or so, because I'm gonna be real mad if I go back down there in a couple hours and it won't turn over. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get down to the barracks tonight and have a nice, peaceful, air-conditioned sleep. We got extended for another 24, but I already talked with district dispatch, and I'm just gonna be leaving here at 2000. So I'll get down to the barracks probably just before 2100, 9 o'clock. That'll be just enough time to make some dinner and grab a shower and go to bed. But yeah, definitely will be coming down tonight. I do not have enough supplies to stay up here another night. It shouldn't be too bad. This cell is gonna pass through. It's dropping a little bit of lightning. Doesn't seem to be too bad, but it's also got a lot of rain with it. It's gonna take a long dry spell for any of the stuff that might be smoldering to start picking up. At least over here. Other places are getting it, but we haven't found anything aside from what I've called in. It's Sunday, already an interesting morning. As I was driving to drop off some paperwork at the district office, there was a fire dispatch over at Lodgepole Station, which is over on Willow Creek Mountain. I can't see it from here. I knew as soon as I said that I wouldn't be able to. But anyway, they've got a response going to that. I just had to rescue this butterfly that's on this pillar here from the inside of my tower. I have no idea how he got in. I know that the moths somehow work their way in overnight. Don't know how this guy managed to get in, but got him out. Oh, my hummingbird left. There was one sitting up on top of my wire up there. I was hoping to get him in the video as well. Whatever, I'll see plenty of them throughout the day now that they're back at the feeder. Open your wings for me. I just had oh, there he is. I thought there was a raven flying up to the tower, and I was like, man, that guy is huge. And then he glinted in the sun, and I realized it was a golden eagle. He literally like came right over the tower. I wish I'd been outside or had my camera closer. He's a big dude. Haven't seen as much of him this year, I don't think. End of the shift. It is right about 8 o'clock right now. I'm getting ready to call off. There were a couple cells that popped around. They were hanging around Sheep Mountain a lot today, and there were a couple that came off Shasta and went along the bottom of the valley here. There was a real loud rifle shot of a lightning bolt. I didn't see it, but I looked it up on the map somewhere down in Bray. So I'm actually gonna check out the spots on the map that it showed it hitting, and hopefully I don't find anything, but we'll do that, check that out tonight, and then head back to the barracks and get ready for a couple days off. Not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'll try and do something fun. I've got to catch up on a couple things, couple projects that I'm working on, but hopefully I can get out and do something cool.